It's been a very long time, but I am back with another wooden railway layout, so please enjoy this video. If you are subscribed to my main channel, Mayo, you know that I am spring cleaning right now, and before I do more progress with my Lego collection, I wanted to address my Thomas Wooden Railway collection and some of the other wooden railway stuff I own. And so I needed to get that out of my room, and I need to put it into new storage solutions in this shed right here. So I decided to create an Excel spreadsheet to categorize and catalog my inventory, and in order to do that I built this nice wooden railway layout right here that briefly follows the map for the island of Sodor, but with significant differences in the track configuration, mainly because of the space constraints of this shed that I built this layout in. A lot of elements of this layout I'm pretty happy with, but definitely a lot of elements in this layout could have been much better. I wish I had a couple more destinations that I could use to fully flesh out some areas of the layout. Now I know what those are. Now that I've created my Excel spreadsheet, I know what I have and I know what I need to buy. So let's start this tour here at Tidmouth Sheds. If anyone is familiar with wooden railway layouts here on YouTube, you might recognize something. This Tidmouth Sheds pattern and this Knapford Station pattern is very similar to one of Thomas Wooden Railway's layouts. Also with the coal station right here at Crosby. I looked on a bunch of different Thomas Wooden Railway layouts on the internet, mainly DeviantArt. So I looked across some of the Thomas Wooden Railway convention layouts, some of the Milk Tanker Media's layouts, some of Thomas Wooden Railway's layouts. I think one of Wooden Railway Only's layouts, someone drew a DeviantArt. I think someone drew a DeviantArt of one of LNER Flying Scotsman's layouts. So I used track plans from all of those DeviantArts to build stuff within this layout. So this section right here is very reminiscent of one of Keycray24's layouts, who, if you don't know, Keycray24 got hacked and became Thomas Wooden Railway. So, with that being said, we got Tidmouth Sheds right here. Did the old trick of reversing the turntable so that the sidings extend out and the main roundhouse is connected via the 5-way switch. We have another dual track shed next to this siding coming off Duck's branch line, which crosses the turntable, and there's Duck right now at Tidmouth Station. There's a siding that comes off for the water tower, and there's a siding that comes off here for the engine wash and the oil depot. Engines can sit on those sidings right there. Duck's branch line curves around across all of these switches, comes to this 3-way switch, which leads into the junctions for the lines for Knapford Station. And there's a 4-way switch right there so that station pilots coming out of Tidmouth Sheds can have a straight shot through into the yard, which is comprised of a lot of switches. Normally I do the yard via 2 5-way switches, but I wanted to do something different this time. So we've got diesel right there, shunting a chocolate version of Rickety. Got tar tankers, fuel tankers, milk tankers, and some other random rolling stock throughout the Knapford yards. At Knapford Station, we've got Diesel 199 and Derek pulling some of my Obrium Express coaches. We've got Stepney pulling 2 blue coaches, I forget which brand they are, and Daisy is just leaving Knapford Station to go onto Thomas's branch line. And speaking of Thomas, Thomas is right here by the conductor's shed before one of my single stone tunnels that I'm going to be using this as Hackenbeck Tunnel. And this is a scene that's reminiscent of the season 2 episode Better Late Than Never, because they're at the railroad crossing right here. The reason that Derek and Diesel 199 are pulling coaches is because the other mainline engines are elsewhere on the main line. So of those, we have Edward pulling some orange Imaginarium coaches. He is at Wellsworth Station. This is the backside. And he's talking to Trevor, who's in between tracks right now. I don't know how he got there. Big spatial constraints right here, trying to include Suttery Station, where my custom Boko is at, pulling 2 of the new 20 Thomas Wooden Railway 2 troublesome trucks that have the goods crates in them. So he's at Suttery Station. There's a big junction right here for Brendam Docks. So we've got Cranky at Brendam Docks. The sidings for the docks come off one of these 5-way switches. There's that shipping company crane and the lighthouse, and there's a lot of different engines and other characters at the docks, because Bulstrode's pulling in with a crate of fish. Must have got that from one of the fishing trawlers. Maybe preparing Henry's Flying Kipper. Got Salty shunting a long line of intermodal cargo cars. I've got Bill and Ben with the gated cargo cars that hold the animals in them from both the animal train and the circus train. We've got Porter outside of the junction into the docks. We got one of the lorries I can't exactly remember, and we got the weather tracker in the siding. I used some of these trees to create the vicarage orchard before the main line goes across the viaduct. There's the orange over the track signal, and at the viaduct, which is supposed to be in between Crosby and Wellsworth, but is instead in between Wellsworth and Gordon's Hill. Excuse all of the noise outside of this shed. We got Spencer going up the viaduct with the Duke and Duchess's coach and the furniture truck. And this is a surprised face, Spencer, because Murdoch is coming along the other side of the viaduct pulling a long goods train. Got a lot of tipper trucks, and then these are some custom painted brown goods vans with a soda lime caboose at the end. I don't know why these are here. I really should move them to a siding. Let's just pretend that these were never on the layout. We've got another series of junctions here. Can go up Gordon's Hill. There's Gordon pulling the express, which has one Thomas Wooden Railway express coach, and these are 2 custom express coaches. This has the green stripe and this has the red stripe. So this is the junction for the Peel Godred branch line. Got the ice cream factory right here, and Neil is a back end for Rosie, who's pulling a goods train. This bridge is meant to represent the scene where Stepney and Percy cross over at the Ironworks scrapyard from various episodes in season 5. Mainly, Stepney gets lost and put upon Percy. So this is the scrapyard right here. There's another one of the oil depots has one of the recycling trucks coming in, taking away an I-beam. There's one of the oil tankers back there. I think that's from the oil and coal cargo. Got the Ironworks smelting pot right there. Got one of my Soda cargo cranes. A heavily used version of old number 36 from the fire station, which is a destination that is over there with the fire train. Another better condition old number 36 and the fire crew right there by that road bridge. I wanted to make a joke about Thomas Wood because I got one of these Thomas Wood Percys in a bulk lot. So you might notice we actually have 2 diesel 10s on the layout. Since this is the happy-faced diesel 10, I thought this would be one of Diesel 10's brothers because he's based on a British Railways Class 42. So there has to be more of them out there, and who knows, maybe this was his brother that just also coincidentally has the same non-BR standard livery and also just happens to have a claw. So I'm making a joke that Ally and Bert, this is the old style Ally and Bert, and then the new style Diesel 10 are scrapping the Thomas Wood Percy. And the other mainline engine is James. Here at Crovan's Gate, I used the Shining Time station as one of the platforms at Crovan's Gate, and this unknown covered station platform, which I think has been seen in a lot of Milk Tanker Media's layouts. James also has some of my OBM coaches. This is an old style James with the gold dome. I'm now going to be replacing my CGI era James with that old style James. This is the new style Duncan I also got in a bulk lot. I'm not sure if I'm going to use the new style or the old style Duncan from here going forward. He has some of these red coaches. I like to use these red coaches as Skarloey Railway coaches, because if we come over here, Linnaeus is also pulling some of those red coaches. This is a remake of that scene in Rock and Roll from season 4, where James gives Duncan some bad advice about trying to send Rusty packing, and Rusty is over here in this junction. I try to use a lot of the clickety-clack track on the Skarloey Railway whenever I build a Skarloey Railway, because of the references to season 4 where Rusty, the track maintenance Diesel, was repairing all of the old bumps that Skarloey gave him a lot of credit for, and Skarloey is right here at the incline. This is actually the hills from the Muffle Mountain set, and I always like to use these as the incline. These are some custom painted white black cargo cars. No, sorry, a black one and a red one. I painted them white to look like the slate trucks from season 4 and season 5. That's my old style Skarloey. I'm debating whether I use my old style or new style Skarloey going forward. If anyone has any thoughts about should I use old style or new style engines on my layouts in the future, definitely let me know in the comments. So I'm using this roundhouse that I forget which, I think this is a Big Jigs roundhouse. Have the turntable here, a siding for the coaches, other small sidings. There's a special engine shed right here. With the new style Linnaeus, this is the 2004 Linnaeus. This is the Tomy era Linnaeus. I like the Tomy era better than any other red Linnaeus in history, because Linnaeus in the TV series is actually orange. Linnaeus was only red in the Railway series, where he was actually known as Linnaeus, not Linnaeus, believe it or not. Since he has the psychotic face, I deliberately keep him in the special engine shed out of harm's way so that he can't creep out kids in the year 2004. There's this crane, for whatever reason, coming off the turntable. This is the loop line so that trains can enter and exit Crovan's Gate station from opposite ends without having to turn around. So this would be the junction near Crossnickern. This is a whole forestry area. That's standard gauge over there, with pieces from the sawmill and dumping depot where Luke has one of the Henry's Forest log cars. Henry on the standard gauge also has a Henry's Forest log car. There's the timber yard over there, and I forget the name of that destination. I think that was from a Tomy set in 2012, correct me if I'm wrong. All of the sidings for the forestry area come off another 5-way switch. The main line travelling east from Crovan's Gate to the bridge off of Sodor at Vickerstown There's a siding right there for either the Vickerstown or the Crovan's Gate work sheds. Sorry, there's a bird outside there. Yeah, I apologise about that bird. In the shed, there's Stafford, Den, Paxton, and Victor. I put them there because I literally have nowhere else on the layout to put them. And Neil was originally in the shed, but since Neil is low on confidence and Rosie needed some help with her train, Victor thought it would be a good idea to get out of the shed, stretch his wheels, and be a back engine for Rosie. So that's the bridge off of Sodor. Coming back to the Skarloey Railway, it comes up this hill over this unknown brand mountain overpass, over this waterfall mountain, which is also unknown brand. Reneus with his coaches, as we said. Come down the hill on the other side, comes to another single stone tunnel. And there's a bit of a conflict going on here. I'm really quite happy with this scene. So we got the Glennock switch tower. This switch comes off to a T-switch, and this is trying to represent the lakeside loop. Entering a tunnel, we have overview with a wood truck right there. So I don't have any water right here. Excuse there not being the actual lake. So the reason this is funny is because what I like to imagine is Sir Handel. This is an old style Sir Handel. You'll have to let me know, should I use my old style or new style Sir Handel going forward. He's getting some water. George came along and said, railways are no good, pull them up, turn them into roads. And they would have started fighting. Peter Sam would have came to his defense. Duke would have shunted in to calm down the situation. This is my I got an old style Duke. Let me know, should I use my old style or new style Duke going forward. And then there's a reference to the season 4 episode Steamroller. There's a policeman that's showed up because Duke couldn't settle the situation, so now the police have to get involved. Hello, hello, hello. And what's going on here? Soon, everyone stopped arguing. So that's the entirety of the Skarloey Railway. I'm reasonably happy with it, even given that it's in a rather cramped area. I'm happy that I got a whole lot of trees in here to support the forestry. So anyway, now that we explained why all of the mainline engines are on the main line, now can come back to here. So that's why those diesels are pulling passenger trains. Comes into the Crosby coal yards. Got the coal depot, we got the coal loader, and the Crosby coal loader for all were released at different times. We got Percy pulling the coal company trucks. This one actually has coal in it. The crane is going to pick up coal from one of my 3 grey troublesome trucks. And Percy, this is my new style. I really want to get a 2001 Percy, I really do. He's talking to a new style Harold. That's a reference to any episode from season 2 to season 6 where Harold and Percy bickered with each other. Comes over here back to another 4-way switch. If you come this way, it comes to the fire station. And I wanted to create the scene from Thomas and the Magic Railroad where Lady is being chased by Diesel 10. I finally got a 2nd generation Lady. I used to use an Ertl Lady, but now that I have a proper wooden railway one, I will be using this going forward. She's coming over this green span bridge. This is my old style Diesel 10 who has the evil face, not the stupid happy face. So I always like to have Diesel 10 chasing Lady over this curved viaduct. I just really like that. And finally got the old style Splatter and Dodge. Finally got them in my collection. At this switch right here, this is the scene from Thomas and the Magic Railroad where they abandon Diesel 10 before he starts chasing Lady. So they're here by one of my 2 Alsdale barrel loaders. We'll deviate on this line really quickly. This is Toby's old line. So along Toby's old line, we got some of the farm stuff. So we got the barrel loader, the honey depot, the grain loader, and the windmill. Toby is here collecting some grain. He's got a mini freight train right there, or goods train. And this is meant to represent the reference to the scene in the season 5 episode Howard Lowy, where Lowy 3 tells Toby, "We three are doing your work now. You're too slow." And this is an old style Toby. It's the 1999 Toby. You'll have to let me know, should I use my old style Toby or new style Toby going forward. So this is meant to represent the windmill from the original season 1 intro of the TV series, but it could be, you could interpret it as Toby's windmill if you wanted to. So this is a big farm area, got some trees to mark out the farm. Continue along Toby's line, come out to another series of switches. I had a whole bunch of switches left over when I finished building this layout, so I put a lot of switches everywhere. Comes over the lifting bridge, comes up the quarry mine tunnel, goes down the quarry mine tunnel to another 5-way switch for the quarry. I have a whole lot of rocks at the quarry. I always like to use these at the quarry. Got some quarry trucks, which are custom painted cargo cars. Got my third grey-faced troublesome truck that actually has some rocks in it. Got Mavis ready to shunt some more quarry trucks, which I need to paint these red cargo cars into grey really quickly. There's Boulder Mountain. Boulder is on top of his mountain. So from Toby's line coming into Thomas's branch line, goods trains would go down this way, but passenger trains who want to stop at the Hilltop station would come along this way before going to Farquhar. I wanted to use these wooden blocks right here to look like the wall that is behind Farquhar Station, where Thomas pulls up in the original intro of the TV series. There's no one at the station right now because Bertie has broken down and Thomas needs to collect his passengers, like what happened in the aforementioned Better Late Than Never. So Hilltop Station is new, got one of the other Lowy's. This would be Lowy 2. Have him near the quarry because that's where he worked in the season 5 episode Howard Lowy, also aforementioned. Thomas's branch line is really small, but we do have a lot of good roadways right here, and we'll get to the roadways later. So just want to get this out of the way, wanted to briefly cover Duck's branch line. So Duck is here at Tidmouth Station, as we already said. This is the junction for the loop line. I'm using this as the loop line. Comes over an archstone bridge where another one of the roadways comes out. Comes to a V-switch. Sorry, piece of nature right there. Oliver is waiting at the passing loop, ready for Duck to pass him. This is my old style Duck. I did get an old style Duck. It's not the round roof Duck from 1994, but it's still an old style Duck. So let me know, should I use the old style or new style Duck going forward? Oliver is here with some ballast trucks. This used to be Scruffy, but his stickers came off, so I actually need to paint a Scruffy and I need to mold him a new face. I really like my old style Oliver, I really do. And then this is Almsburg right here. Donald and Douglas are currently at Almsburg. So this is the ballast chute where the Almsdale Railway comes up, the small railway. So Frank has a tipper truck, and you could interpret it that Frank just loaded Oliver with some ballast. Donald is shunting some troublesome trucks by the cargo drop, and Douglas is collecting some barrels from my other Almsdale barrel loader. This is the shed where any of the Little Western branch line engines could stay. There's some sidings for some more trucks. There's a passing loop for the barrel loader. Comes over another archstone bridge. Let's just pretend that the Almsdale Railway goes off over that way. Using another 5-way switch for the yards for the small railway at Almsburg. And this, I had a lot of spare track left over, so I decided to connect Duck's branch line to the Peel-Godred branch line. So let's start at the Peel-Godred branch line. I swear to God, the wind keeps on blowing down these plastic trees. I much prefer the wood trees over there. So there's a turnaround for engines who don't want to proceed to Ducks Branch Line. Flora is right here by the power station. There's some trucks in these sidings. The pack is working right here by another archstone bridge, which is in between the power station and the Sodal paint factory. The paint factory has its own siding, and that curves around to another T-switch. Arthur is over there by the chocolate factory delivering a whole bunch of ingredients so that Mr. Jolly can make a lot of different flavoured chocolates. So yes, there are a few different engines on the Peel-Godred branch line. There's a switch here by the chocolate factory where Arthur's at. Can come over to Sodal Bay bridges. Yep. The trees get knocked over, blown over by the wind every single time. The hand car is right here. It's a reference to, yet again, another season 5 episode. So just imagine that old Bailey is riding this hand car, coming over to the cliff near the viaduct where Henry crashed his trucks off. He pushed them off the edge in the season 5 episode Haunted Henry. And that comes back to the scrapyard, which goes through Gordon's Hill, which comes back to the main line. But this siding right here, where Arthur actually came from, curves around the incline, goes through the forest. Fergus is right there with a Brio log truck. Fergus is by the wood chipper, and Fergus's line goes underneath the unknown name branded mountain tunnel, underneath Reneus, across one of my 2 diamond switches where Luke is at, back to the forestry where Henry is. And again, I really like the forestry right here. There's one more thing we have got left to cover, and that is the roadway. So in my eBay bulk lots, I have accumulated a whole lot more road pieces for all of my road vehicles. And hopefully I'll get more road tracks in eBay bulk lots in the future. So the Fat Controller's car is coming in to Tidmouth Station. The road goes underneath the Archstone Bridge. This is specifically from the Edward the Great set that had the surprise face Spencer. Comes underneath this green span bridge. There's an ambulance, crosses over the track near the fire station, comes into Knapford Station where there's this unknown branded yellow bus. Kevin is coming down this hill that it acts as a road bridge over here. Terence is ploughing his field. Birdie is stuck at the crossing in Better Late Than Never. Crosses over Thomas's branch line, comes to these T-junctions. That T-junction road is actually from the service station, which is right there. There is 2 passenger regular cars getting refueled at the service station, and there's Elizabeth and her sister Eliza, shall we call her? Yeah, so I have an Elizabeth with her orange plank beds and another one without her. So I'm just going to say that Elizabeth's sister is called Eliza. Tell me what you think about that in the comments below. So there's lots of different roads that come off from the service station. Got the road that goes back to the T-switch where the street sweeper and the rubbish truck is. This road goes to the backside of Wellsworth Station. That white car comes along this road up to Hilltop Station where Lorry 2 is. He's going over one of the roadway stacking risers. This road comes down by the chocolate factory. You can come under this switch right here to where Thumper is drilling rocks at Boulder Mountain. The other road where Elizabeth came from goes under the Sodal Bay bridges, which acts as the viaduct on the Peel-Godred branch line. I don't have any of the actual roadway switches, so I just had to use a non-Thomas Wooden Railway switch, because I already used up my T-junction right here, my very precious roadway T-junction. Because if you didn't know, the knobs right here at the service station are these knobs right here. So this roadway goes into the forestry. I have 3 different Trevors. So let's just say that Trevor has 2 other brothers working on the island of Sodor. The actual Trevor is talking to Edward at the Wellsworth Junction. We have another traction engine entering the forestry, and we have another Trevor over there talking to Ivo Hugh at the other end of the forestry. This other road curves around behind the shed, the special engine shed for the Skarloey Railway, and there's Winston. Let's just pretend that the Fat Controller is not driving Winston right there. And that comes out to the narrow gauge yards at Crovens Gate. That is this Thomas Wooden Railway layout complete. I'm really happy with what I was able to do. Now that I have built this layout, when I pack everything up, I will be able to catalogue and categorize every single wooden railway item I own to put it into my Excel spreadsheet so I know exactly what I still need to buy on eBay. Anyway, thank you for watching this wooden railway layout. I hope this was entertaining. I wanted to include as many references to the TV series as possible and a couple references to the railway series because I am more of a fan of the railway series than the TV series, but it's easier for me to create references to the TV series than it is to the railway series. So I'm reasonably happy with this layout. Hope you enjoyed it. You can go back and watch my other Thomas Wooden Railway layouts, both on my main channel and this channel. I've got to upload the other wooden railway layouts I built previously to this channel because I didn't have my train channel back then and now I have it, so I need to upload it on this channel. So in the end slate of this video, I'll have the links, or I should create a playlist for all of my wooden railway layouts, and in the cards you should see the link to my latest Thomas Wooden Railway layout before the filming of this one. So thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.